Hello, greetings from Los Angeles, and I thought I might introduce myself because I think I forget to do that all the time. So my name is Andrea, and I love to knit. I'm a fiber artist and painter. Can't stop knitting. I love crochet, and this channel is at KnitLA55. So welcome to KnitLA55. I appreciate you hanging out with me and discussing all the things related to knitting and crocheting, yarn, wool, etc. Anyway, hello. Good to be here, and yeah, I'm excited for this episode because I feel like I actually have a lot of cool things to share. And again, I just want to say that anyone who reaches out and comments, I just want you to know it is very appreciated. My dog's walking around. I love hearing from people, and I love hearing what people are making. And yeah, so keep it coming because I love it. And yeah, anyway, so I'm going to start with what I'm wearing, which is not a knit object. This is a vintage dress that I've had for, I don't know what my dog's problem is. Junie, go lie down. No, go lie down. Okay, so old vintage dress. I've never been able to get rid of it because it is just so incredibly gorgeous. I love it so much. And the reason I'm wearing it today, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that this was really my inspiration for the upcoming Geo Gradient Mystery Knit Along, hosted by Stephen West. So I attempted to participate in another mystery knit along a few years ago during COVID, and I can't even remember the name of the shawl, but after the first week, I absolutely hated it and just ditched the whole thing. So that was my, unfortunately, my first experience knitting with Stephen West. As you all may know, and has been discussed in previous episodes, my Winter Lights shawl, I really questioned the whole way through color choices, my own sense of what's neutral and what's not. But it was so much fun to knit, and just doing a variety of stitches, and it just felt very, very fun. So when I saw the images for Geo Gradient, of course, I was like, I have to do this because it just looks amazing. And I really like that there are only 4 skeins being used. I'm attracted to the idea of a gradient. That means less kind of clashing, color clashing. So I'm in, and I'm all in because I actually purchased a kit from Stephen and Penelope, one of the QING fiber kits in sage green. And I'm sorry I don't have a picture of it, but you could probably find it on the website. It's just all these sugary, minty, pale greens, blues. I cannot wait to receive the kit. Anyway, I think it's gonna be super incredible to wear with this dress, among other things. So I'm committing to that. I think it starts sometime in October. And that's gonna be a very busy month because I'm also traveling to Rhinebeck. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm really excited. So I have never been to the Sheep and Wool Festival. I have been to Rhinebeck It is gorgeous, but never in the fall. So this is gonna be a really special trip that my mom and I take together, meeting some all knitter friends from New York. It's gonna be a ball. So, but it will be busy. So, you know, I'm just like a little worried about that week, but whatever. Maybe that's my only project in October. So I'm very, very excited about that. Yeah. So when I get the kit, of course, I will share it with everybody. I also want to share a couple of things I finished. I'm working so hard on finishing projects because I had 6 or 7 whips, and that doesn't even include the ones in my closet. So I'm really dedicated. I feel like since the beginning of September, really, I'm just dedicating myself to finishing a ton of stuff. So I cast on the Miss Arena early in the summer, then I totally ditched it because I just couldn't focus at all. But I did finish, and it's really cute and pretty. So I hope the true color, I think the truer color is back here. So I used 2 strands of lace for the body, the main color, and then I used just a fingering weight that I had. This beautiful, I think it's OLAAN sock yarn. And it is just the most perfect, like, I mean, I can't even call it scummy green, but it's scummy, but it's got so much in the scum, so many layers of color. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I am very pleased with how this turned out. I chose to do the eyelets in the body, and I'm very glad I did that. It's super open and airy, and I wound up not doing the sleeves because I really liked how it looked, just almost with nothing. So I just did a few rows of ribbing, a few rows of ribbing, and I just adore it. And you know, if it's hot in Rhinebeck, this is what I'm wearing. Okay, so that was one thing I finished. Oh, I'm so happy about it. It's a good one. The second thing I finished is actually a knit along garment that I'm participating in called the Seela Cal. That's S-E-E-L-A. And the Seela sweater, I believe, was featured in one of the Lina magazines a few issues back, 3 maybe. Anyway, this is my Seela. I can't really see what I'm doing, so I hope everyone can kind of see the Seela. See the Seela. So this is a really simple construction. It's like raglan, big needles, big fluffy yarn. The yarn I used is SANDNES GARN, the brushed alpaca in the colorway MARSALA. I said this in my last episode, it's like a fancy sweatshirt. Or not even fancy, it's like, I know, people say elevated. It's elevated. It's an elevated sweatshirt. It is so comfortable and soft. Like, I blocked it and it's so soft. I absolutely love the fit. I don't remember the size I made, but it's pretty oversized fit. So based on the measurements, I can't remember. It was either the size 1 or the size 2. And this is like a 10 needle, or maybe 10 and a half. I can't remember. Anyway, I so enjoyed this. I had to knit in the evenings at the end because it was so hot here. I just couldn't do it. So I knit this in the evenings. In the process, I actually knit one of the sleeves first, and that was such a good idea. I'm so proud of myself for even coming up with that idea, which is not exclusive to me, I'm sure. But knitting that one sleeve and trying it on told me so much about how the sweater was going to fit me, much more than if I had just put on, you know, the yoke. So I think from now on, that's going to be one of the techniques I do for sleeves. And it also means that you sort of do a sleeve and get it out of the way, which is also pretty awesome. So this is the Sela sweater. There's still time to join. I believe the Cal is running till the end of September. And again, this is a quick knit, and I feel like it could be so many different gauges. Like you could even do a really light mohair version. The designer, Jonna Hietala, she, I think, has knit 2 or 3 and all different kinds of yarn combinations, like really amazing. I think her recent one is with La Bien-Aimée, gorgeous blues. Anyway, you should definitely check out her Instagram. She's a great designer. She also designed the Lento sweater, which I participated in that Cal, and that was hosted by Amy Palco and Rebecca Clow of the Crea, and that was a really cool MCal experience too, because it was such a chill design. It was hard not to be successful, and people were sharing a lot, so it was very cool. I like these cals I like cals. I love knitting in community. It's just so much fun, especially when you like the project. And again, back to the Geo Gradient MCal, it's just astounding how many people participate in these make-alongs for Stephen West, and it's thousands of people. So that feels pretty cool, like being connected to this huge community of knitters, all working within the same framework, but are all gonna have their own result, right? Because even if you have a kit, some people might change up the order of the skeins, and people's knitting is different, you know? So that is super cool. So those are my 2 finished objects, and I want to just like deviate from knitting to talk a little bit about spinning. I purchased a LENDRUM double treadle spinning wheel because it looks so simple. It basically, you screw it together. It has very simple parts, and it's, you know, you're just like treadling, I suppose. Treadling. I must have worked on it for like 2 hours yesterday, and I couldn't even successfully like link the wool to my leader yarn. The whole managing the petals while also doing this like drafting, I mean, whoa. So yeah, I thought, oh, I'm just gonna get it right off the bat. It looks so easy. I can do drop spindle. I'm now working on the electric eel wheel, tiny mini guy, and my spinning's getting better. Anyway, all that to say that I think I'm gonna have a bit of a long road with the LENDRUM double treadle. But I'm gonna persevere because I wanna show you some of the yarn that I spun on the electric eel wheel. So, oops. I did mention this in a prior episode where I said I had bought this little spinning wheel. This is it. It's really small. and super adorable, and I can basically put it in any room of my house. It comes with like 2, 4, 6 of the bobbins, which are quite small. Anyway, so I've been spinning some new wool. And like, these are early days, so you can see like total inconsistency. And I had some others that were these beautiful rich colors that I actually washed, and they're now drying, so I don't have those with me. But then I had ordered, I don't know, few weeks ago, just a sample bag from FIBRE Fates, I believe. They're on Etsy. And the bag came, and the wool was so beautiful and soft. And she even tucked in a little extra of the most gorgeous gray CORRIEDALE. So I want to start with that because I've actually ordered more CORRIEDALE. I'd love to make a sweater, like a big juicy sweater, like the Sela. Something where like the yarn kind of doesn't matter, or it does matter, but whatever. So this is the CORRIEDALE, and I know it looks funny, but I swear every time, like look up there, that's like, it's starting to like kind of look like something other than art yarn. So by the way, this sample was a gray CORRIEDALE, and it is so soft, and I am totally in love with it. I also received, which I completely love, these mixed natural yarns. So this is a BFL, and you know, doing much better. Don't look at that. Anyway, BFL, super soft, like the most beautiful colors. It so beautiful. And then, okay, maybe my favorite, but not as well spun because I couldn't wait to do it. And I think you can't even see how beautiful it is, maybe. But this one is merino wool called Sandstone. And oh my God, this is really pretty thick and thin. This is like my crummy side. I don't know why. But within, there are some really nice ones. So yeah, this is really, I can see why people become like kind of obsessed with spinning, especially on an electric spinner, because you don't have to be super coordinated to use it. And then the last thing I got was this Jacob wool. So this was really great. I got like, I think 2 ounces of each, or maybe just an ounce of each, I'm not sure. This is really woolly, so it's kind of even hard to see the definition of the spin, but I'm so proud. Like, these are actually, I'm gonna make something like a hat. So that has been super enjoyable, and I'm telling myself that every day I've got to spend 30 minutes just like trying to get that foot motion, drafting motion, speed, consistency thing. And I will, because I know, like, even with the drop spindle, even with the electric spinner, there was definitely a learning curve, and I was, you know, getting very frustrated at times. But perseverance is the name of the game. So yeah, so I actually just purchased some gorgeous fiber from Hello Yarn, which it was just serendipitous that I think Andrea Mowry mentions them in her newsletter, but I had already, you know, found them. Their yarn is mostly in clubs, I believe, which are closed, but they have extras. So I got a couple of really pretty, gorgeous hand-dyed stuff. So very excited to be starting this journey. I figured out, I've chosen the yarn for the Instant Crush. And again, don't swatch like me. Because I know I don't do enough swatching. I know my swatches aren't big enough. But you know what? These are my colors. And it took a while. So, no browns. I really thought I was gonna use browns. No browns. But lots of blues. So here, oh my. Ah! Here's my yarn. From left to right, this is Farmer's Daughter fiber in Odang, called In a Jam. This is Wandering Flock in Dusty Blue. This is QING fiber in their colorway Hero, which is amazing. And then I purchased this gorgeous thing. I hope you can see it. It's like, I don't know the color name, but it's sort of a dusty lavender with a lot of blue in it. So these are my Instant Crush colors, and I'm stoked to make the sweater. I think I'm gonna make it kind of oversized, because I think it would be amazing with, like, you know, trousers, anything. It would be amazing with anything. So I'm super excited about that. So those are my colors. And what else is happening? Okay, so this is really cool. This is a really old whip. Like, well, okay, not that old, a year old. And it's kind of embarrassing because this shawl, and I'm in the middle of it, so that really is lame. But I started the MARE shawl by Moonstruck Knits. I started this shawl. This shawl is so beautiful, and it's been like in my favorites for a while. And my mom turned 80 a year ago last September. And this was supposed to be her 80th birthday present. But that didn't quite happen. So now, I really was like, okay, I'm gonna do it by her 81st birthday, which was last weekend. Didn't happen. But I'm getting there. And I just wanted to share it because it's actually insanely gorgeous. And so this is the top, I believe. And then it has these like funny, they call them corn on the cob sections, this guy, and then the flowers. And it is just a beautiful shawl. I can't see, so I don't know if it's focusing. Anyway, it's really beautiful. The yarn is from POSH yarns in Wales. And this is definitely not what the pattern suggests. And it is, I'm gonna try and hold this color up because this color is like insane. And you can see it's like so shiny, and there's like grays and black and brown. And then I'm pairing it with this kind of caramel color that is so drapey and so soft. So I would say these maybe aren't the best yarns For color work, actually this is a mosaic pattern, and because these yarns are so soft and so slick, you know, I think it's just gonna have a very different look. But my mom is not into the woolly wools. She loves the cashmere blends, and I don't even know what this one is, and I don't have the tag. This was yarn inherited from my aunt's stash, my mom's sister. So that is very, very, very special. I love always working with her yarn. And it's nice that it's gonna go around my mother. So I have to finish that before the end of the year. I mean, I'm trying to finish before Rhinebeck actually, because I think it would be so sweet if she wore it to Rhinebeck. So that is an old whip, a year-old whip that I've taken out of the shadows. And then the last thing I wanted to show, I just have to share it. I know I shared it last time. So I cannot wait to start the pressed flower shawl. And these are my colors. This is Moonstruck Knits Corriedale DK in the colorway Soft. And it's kind of hard to see what it is. It's actually even more blue than it looks on the camera. It's a very bluish pale lavender. The colorway is Soft. Not sure if I said that. Okay, but I wound up my first skein, and I am like gonna cry because it's so incredible. So I'm just gonna share as well as I can this juicy, scrumptious, like, okay. And I'm being very disciplined by not just casting this thing on. It's really like my treat. Like I had to finish the Miss Serena, the Sela. I finished my daughter's tank, which is blocking. This is like my finishing treat, but I sort of feel like I need to get a little bit farther on my mom's shawl, but I can't even with this color. And I'm so excited. I don't know, I might have to cast it on. I want to get going on it before the MCAL. You know, I might have to cast it on. So that's just wanted to share these incredibly scrumptious colors. Yeah. So that is my knitting story. The last few weeks, possibly the last year, including this whip. I have another whip that I started 2 years ago. I gotta show it. I'm gonna show it next time. I want to finish it. It's a beautiful colorwork sweater by Junko. I forget her last name. It's the bouquet sweater, which I know lots of people have made, and it is stunning. And I think it was one of my first colorwork sweaters. No. Well, anyway, I do want to show that because I feel like once I show it, I'll get excited again. And it's a perfect winter sweater because it is made with, like, you know, crunchy wool. So I do want to show that next time if I can recall. Anyway, are you going to Rhinebeck? Is anyone out there going to Rhinebeck? I am so excited because certain people that I watch on YouTube are going to be at Rhinebeck, and I am so excited to meet them in person. Namely, Knitting a Good Yarn podcast, Carmen and Jackie. Totally looking forward to meeting them. We've had some correspondence over on Instagram, and I just think they are amazing. Really excited to see them. Who else? I mean, I'm excited to see, like, Andrea Mowry, although I will not be on the hill because I think I just don't see myself in that pattern, and I just have to kind of let it go. I have to let go of just wanting to be in that group on the hill. And I can easily because I have these amazing things that are waiting for me to cast on. I wanted to share, speaking of podcasts, I want to share that I have been watching a fascinating podcast that's hosted by Amy Gilles of La Bien-Aimée. And this particular podcast, I believe, is called Amy's Knit Lab. And this season or whatever, she is working, interviewing all of the designers from Neons and Neutrals, a book that I was like, nah. Even though I love neon and neutral, I was just like, it's a lot of hype, yada yada. My own brain, my own ridiculous brain. So I started watching this podcast and I'm listening and like to the design processes, the backgrounds of the designers. Not just the designers, by the way, they also include their test knitters for the book, which is a whole nother level of awesomeness, experience. I love the test knitters. A lot of storytelling, and it's really an incredible podcast if you are looking for something that's engaging and creative, and it's really a good one, so check it out. Once I started watching though, I realized it's not all hype, so I bought the book, and all I can say, this is Neons and Neutrals, all I can say, and I'm kind of following along as I watch the interviews, looking at different patterns, and I'm so happy I got this book because there are some incredible pieces in here, and I want to knit them. I want to knit the sweater that's featured on the cover. Actually, it's this one. What is it even called? Oops, Wervel. It's called Wervel. And I've just seen some amazing, iterations of this online. And it's very cool because it's a combination. I think all the patterns are combined gauge, for example, one part has fingering weight while the other part has DK. So I just think that's super interesting, and I bought the book and I love the book. So that's my story. Yeah, so let me know if you're gonna be at Rhinebeck. I would love to say hello. And what else? Yeah, I don't know what else to say, except I'm just filled with enthusiasm for knitting and spinning, and I'm crocheting some blankets, which I still haven't shown on here because it's just too effing hot to even hold up part of a blanket. That will be a whole episode in and of itself when it gets just a tiny bit colder. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing well and enjoying whatever project you're working on, and enjoying making lists of what you aspire to knit or crochet or work on. And yeah, I send all my best out to everybody, and I'll see you again. Okay.